So here we go, some Grey Knights. So I'm playing in a campaign that the local gaming club have started up. I got into it kind of last minute. They needed a player and I had some Grey Knights in a box I hadn't painted, so I jumped in. And what's quite neat is the campaign they're doing is like almost what I feel like 40k is going towards, but they started it before it all happened. And all the Primarchs have come back to life, and there's a big massive fight going on again, and the Emperor's alive, and I got given the Emperor as my character, so I've had to convert one on, I'll show you in a bit. And Custodes, which is kind of slightly ironic given what's about to come and drop from Games Workshop. Anyway, so these are some Grey Knights. The first 500 points I was just running Terminators and a Dread Knight, but I wanted to try some of these out because I got picked up this, I don't know, was it Black Friday last year? Games Workshop did a bit of a goodie bag thing, and I picked up a whole Grey Knight army and ended up with like, what was the equivalent of a free box of Knights. So here's the stuff. I'm going for a quick paint job on these, just speed painting them. I think it's around about 6 colours on here in total. Just trying to get them game ready real quick. I've been doing this effect sort of on these sort of teleport things. It's super quick and easy, and it looks kind of nice because it really pops them out. And all I'm using is this awesome technical paint from G-Dub. And instead of being light with it, where you might be on, like, for example, here, where it's kind of it's doing what it's meant to do, you actually go balls out and slap it everywhere. And I started off using it in the eye slits of the Terminators to try and give them a bit of a, I don't know, kind of psycho glow. And now I've been using it on force weapons and these teleport packs. Anyway, it just contrasts really nice. It's a super quick effect and it works, and it's good to get your minis on the table. So anyway, quick update. These, I've got 5 more to do and then I can get into my next game. Bye, peace. So here are my some Grey Knights I'm building, and just while I was building them I was having to think about the poses and how, you know, just showing a little tip on how you can get really different dynamic poses from the same parts. So let's take a look. So essentially these legs and these legs are the same, and what I've done, just to highlight how easy this is I've rotated the bodies, or glued the bodies on with quite heavy rotations in the opposite direction. And I've done the same with these guys. So obviously the bodies are a bit slightly different, but they're still the body. But the legs, same legs, and again, totally different pose. And what I'll do as I put these together and give them their weapons is I'll show you how, you know, these can become really different, and how, you know, going one way closes the stance off quite a lot. Going another way opens the stance up quite a lot. So you can imagine this one with a couple of different close combat weapons, kind of arms spread, almost issuing a challenge. You could imagine this guy with a bolter or shooting something a bit more tightened up, taking a different stance. So anyway, something to think about when you're building them. I'll show you the next step. Alright, so I have put some weapons on these 2 poses. Now these are the ones that are the same pieces, but 2 different weapons and 2 really different poses. Now the next step that you can kind of add dynamic stuff to your models is all about the head placement. Now let's see if I can do this whilst filming, but the head placement can really change a lot about a model as well. Sorry, I was just filming nothing. Hang on. Alright, head placement. So I've just put these heads on real quick just to show you how where you look something can really change the way it looks. Where you look something, where the head's pointing. So this guy, I've got him looking up, almost like he's looking up at a demon, getting ready to turn him into kebab. So that looks quite neat. And then this guy, he's kind of looking back over this way, perhaps like he's just flamed a section. And now with this dude, I've changed his head around, and he's kind of, he could have just done a no look 2-handed head chop on somebody. Oh, he's doing some sort of John Woo crap. So anyway, there you go. Two things, pretty much all the same pieces, but there's different weapons, and they look really different, and they look, yeah, kind of dynamic. So I'll do the others and show you a bit. Right, here we go, finished product. So I think we started with these two, and now we've got these three. Let's see if I can find those legs the same. There you go. Those two, same components, I think. No, those two, same components. But actually same weapons as well, but just really different look and feel, just from directional changes. Alright, there you go peeps, hope that was useful. Share us what you do, see some stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to paint these next, so I'll stick it in the next episode of a quick update of how to get these looking more like these. What's up YouTube? It is Saturday morning. Just finished up my grey nights, having a coffee. It's gone cold. Tasty. And yeah, so wrapping up the blog for the week. Stuff to talk about. What is there to talk about? Well, there is the Burning of Prospero box that's coming out. What do I think to it? I kind of, it's cool. I love the fact that, you know, we're going to get, I think it's Mark III in there, in plastic, which is really handy because it certainly helps on the old cost side a little bit. But I'm a little bit, I kind of feel sorry for Araman a little bit. I feel like he's kind of been shortchanged. Felt like he maybe deserved the Forge World character model, being, you know, Araman and all that. So I think it was interesting. I think it's really interesting to see how things go now, because I mean, in that box set, there's a couple of things that I was surprised about. One was Araman, two was Custodes, and three was the Sisters of Silence. I mean, that's, you know, normally if you look at like the Heresy and how Forge World have done it, you know, their bread and butter seems to be these bespoke units, these kind of sort of one-off stuff. So yeah, it's interesting to see the Custodes done by G-Dub. Can't wait to see him in the flesh. I'll reserve judgment till I see him in the flesh. You know, their Guardian Spears don't look like what I imagine they would, but I've only seen a handful of pictures yet, so I'll try not to judge too much, but they look cool. I haven't seen the rules yet. I've seen something posted earlier, but I couldn't really read much of what was said, so I'm sure they'll be up and around. Interesting to see what they do. And then Sisters of Silence, again, can't wait to see them in the flesh. I mean, I don't know, I thought you'd get some really dynamic poses out of them, and they seem a little bit static to me. I thought, given that they're kind of these sort of sword-wielding null maidens, I always imagined them, I always thought if Forge World doing them, I had this image of them being almost part Harlequin in their stance, not super lightly armoured, but probably a little bit more of a posture to them. Anyway, we'll see. I've only seen a couple of pictures, but definitely going to order it today. Want it next week. I'm super stoked that it's not Bjorn the Foul-Handed in there, and there's someone called Gregor who's got the weird 40k haircut. No one told him that's not how Space Wolves have their haircut in the 30k universe. So Gregor, 40k wants his hair back. Return it, please, immediately. Overall, I think that model looks really sick, though. I think the hair's dreadful, and how dare you, GW, bring that stupid hair into 30k. Just really disappoint. But that'll be an easy swap. And you've got a decent character there, at least, you know. Whether you have him as a sergeant or whether you have him as an actual character, decent. I think the Tartarus looks sick. I think I've always liked that Terminator armour, and I'm sure in the plastic they'll be really nice. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I am gutted. I thought Araman would be worthy of a decent Forge World model, and I don't know, we'll see. I mean, it still looks quite a nice model, but there is a difference. You know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, plastic's great and it's cheap, and it is fine, that's cool. It's all good. I get it. It's cheaper, and that's absolutely valid. But the Forge World models are better than plastic, and in my opinion, they are easier to work with, and you can do more to them. You can cut and shave them just the same as plastic, if not easier. You can heat and bend them and reshape them, which you can't do with plastic easily. I've not managed to do it without burning myself some ridiculous way, and still done it. So if there is a way to do it easily, show me, but I don't think there is. Forge World stuff though, resin definitely is. And you know, I remember when the first box, when Calth came out, and a couple of YouTube guys I follow that I've known for a while, I've known into the heresy. They were kind of picking fault at some of the plastic stuff, like not having the detail behind the knees. And at the time, I was like, oh yeah, that's a bit harsh. But on reflection, it's totally fair. It's a fair opinion, right? You know, Forge World stuff has the detail in places that plastic doesn't. And if you are anal about that, and you're a bit nerdy, and you like that, then that's your bag, and you'll go Forge World. But anyway, I think it's cool. I think it's going to get people into it. But you know, I'm a little bit nervous that it's going to get Games Workshopped. You know, yeah, Gregor's hair, man, that stresses me out. Man, it stresses me out. Don't have hair like that. Space Wolves, just don't. So there's that. That's been cool. Really excited about Blood Bowl. I can't wait for Blood Bowl. I've never played it before, but I've been watching a bunch of videos. Mini War Game has started some videos on their stuff, and they're good fun to watch, and so I'm stoked about that, and really looking forward to that box. I think it's before Christmas. And then I heard on the rumour mill that they've officially announced that Inferno's been delayed till next year, which is, yeah. You know, I was at the Weekender when they said it would definitely be this year, and the indication was way earlier. But it's interesting, like, because they also talked a lot about custodes back then, and they had written the rules for the custodes, and Alan Bligh was talking about how they, like, in the first outing, they were just savage, and 3 of them killed the 20-man squad of Marines or whatever. And so I wonder if there's more to it than just not getting to the printers, but with G-Dub doing the plastic, I wonder if there's been a bit of a, I don't know, bum fight. Not that you're a bum, Alan. To me, you'll always be Sir Alan. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. See if, you know, are the fully fledged rules in there? Are they going to be the same as the 40k rules? Who knows? Anyway, look, if things do change, nobody panic. Nobody going to burn your models. That's a really retarded thing to do, because you can still play however you want to play. So don't do that. All right. Well, hopefully not offended too many people. See you later.